Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning to your boy, P Funk. Thinking right at my YouTube classroom where I do what I do for you. Today, right as in 25 rules to live by, storytelling, story with a message in my story for life. These are life lessons. This is going to be a good one for you. It's Black History Month. I call it Egyptian History Month. Okay? Hope you can get the understanding. And the question is Egyptian history should not be our mystery. Yeah, if you don't know about ancient Egypt, you don't know your history. So let me break it down for you a little bit. You know, that's what I do. So I study history, Egyptian history, because they were the most successful civilization known to man. In the discussion, I know Egyptians was the most spiritual people to ever walk the earth. Not that they said that. Everybody who came there to conquer them or to deal with them said of them they're the most spiritual people they know. I know Black history, but it's really Egyptian history. Why? I know my Egyptian history. That's real Black history. Okay. If you want to study your history, don't go to your biblical history. Don't go to slave mentality history. Go to what we was ancient and great people history and know about us and feel good about us. Why? Because we are the originators. Okay. If you learn the truth, then you can live by the truth. If you don't know the truth, you're living a lie. Simple as that. It's another lesson. But right now we're talking about Egyptian history, which we know very little of, but we know all about biblical history. We know all about Greek history. We know all about Chinese history. We know everybody's history but our own. Why is that? I digress. I know for facts that shows me who started civilization. Writing, sciences, seven liberal arts, you name it, we are the originators of it. And I say we, I say Egyptian because I'm consider myself an Egyptian. They're my ancestors. So, and understand this: the enemy of my ancestor is the enemy of mine. I'll let that stay there. Next one is Egyptians knew what now we finding out really. I really got to get this across. The Egyptians' Judgment Day scene, famous religious concept ever. If your heart weighs out heavier than the feather, you lose. If your heart weighs out lighter or equal to the feather, you win. No matter what allegory, no matter what mythology, whatever, what story you come up with to substantiate that concept, it ain't gonna make a difference to me. That's what I'm saying. All right. My knowledge of self was done by educating myself and then living out the lessons and things that I learned to see would it work. I've been living the Egyptian concept over 20 years. Yeah, I know now it worked because I'm still living it. Okay? I love having knowledge of myself through learning my Egyptian gods and goddesses. That means I did my homework, I did my study, and I'm loving it. Why? Because ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing you can present to me spiritually, religiously, that I don't already know. Not that I know everything, but trust me, I know religious and spirituality. That I do know. All right. My studies showed me how to become the best me I can be by how living out and putting what I learned in effect in my daily life. Hence, I call right thinking, right living. If you take the God aspects, you apply them to yourself, and you put them to your life, you'll be a different person. I am. I've been different for a while now. Still growing. Okay, don't stop. All right. Last one. If you want knowledge of self, learn it from masters who have mastered themselves. Knowledge is power, says the Egyptians. The creed that they left us was know thyself. Knowing yourself has a cachet, and trust me, has power to it. Knowledge is power. Watch this. They put everything in stone. so that you couldn't destroy it, burn it, and guess what? It's still there. They made obtaining knowledge. Remember, knowledge was the way of life, from the cradle to the grave. Ain't that what they say now? Oh, remember, you gotta gain knowledge. Because see, they didn't have long life. So their grave was pretty much in sight, not too far off. They knew within 50 years, their life is gonna be over. Imagine you knowing, okay, I only got 50 years. Some had less. We now, our average age is between 70, 60, 70. So we done pushed the limit since then. But imagine not having much time to get done what you needed to do within the time span that they gave you to do it in. That's the difference. Right now, we just carefree. And, yeah, it took me 60 years to wake up. So I trust me, I'm a victim of it too. Everybody immune to it, but it just happens that way. Here we go. Knowledge is power, says the Egyptians. I would rather have knowledge of self than belief in something else. What they gave you with religion, they're giving you something else. I'll let that stay there. If you live what you believe, you have no knowledge of self. Because if you're going on belief, that's what somebody told you. That's what you believe in it. Because when you go by knowledge and experience, that means you have experienced something. You have knowledge of it. You experienced it. I tell you about God, but that don't do you no good. Me knowing and experiencing God don't do you a bit of good. You know and experience Him for yourself. That's how that game is played. Trust me on that one. Can't nobody get you God. I can give you information pertinent to how to get there. I can show you the way. I can demonstrate, but it's up to you to get it what you need for yourself. That's why I say I do what I do for you. I'm trying to help you out. Trust me, that's what I'm trying to do. If you belief in something, don't make that something right or true. If you believe a lie, that doesn't mean what you believe in a lie. It's still a lie. You just believe a lie. We've all been a victim of that, so it don't be there. But once you get aware, once you understand, if your belief is found wrong, you got one option. You got two, but you really have one option. Change it. If you can persist on keeping that belief, you're insane. I digress. Next one is learn your history, not somebody else's. He's going to tell you his story. Remember, we break it down, but we know about that. Like he's saying his, okay, African history is our history. Egyptian is Africa. But 1 month to learn about it don't mean jack. And I'm being nice. I've been studying for over 20, going on 30 years now. So don't tell me nothing about what I know about Egyptian and African religion and spirituality. No. Not going to end good for you. Ask those who try. I got to move on. All right. I asked a question about our people. All right. Our people's history. A lot of us don't know. We're ignorant to our history. We know his history, yeah, because he crammed it down my throat. We learned that. But we don't know our history. I took the time to go to Egypt to learn my history. I did that personally. Okay, nobody made me do it. It's a choice. That's what I'm saying. To get enlightened is a choice. Watch this. Every Greek who became educated, I spent 10 years studying Greek mythology. Got good at it, proficient, whatever. They never said that they went into Egypt. I didn't find out until years later when I went into Egypt to find out that, wait a minute. I knew more about Egyptian stuff from the Greek mythologies than I did when I first started reading. I started, I know all this already. Why? From them. I disregard them completely at this point. That's why. We know about everybody else's history. Oh yeah, we give it to free. But we get 1 month to show this month. So everything that's being done, you don't see the pattern here. You don't see the unjustness, the unfairness of how we've been treated as a race of people. That is crazy. I'm asked, well, don't that make you racist when you call a white man a white man? No, I'm calling him for who he is. He's a white man. He's not a good dude. He's the devil. He's an evil doer. I don't care. That don't make me racist. That's just the truth. I'm sorry. All right, move on. Let me wrap this up. You know, I'll be going. I'm about to go in. All right. If you know Egyptian history, guess what? You know yourself. And they told you, know thyself. I mean, learn this, and you'll know you. I get it. I understand. I get excited. Maybe everybody don't see it the way I see it, but it makes so much sense. Here you go. The Egyptians had the answers to all the questions in life that mattered. They covered everything, stem to stern. They had a name and a concept. They gave everything an identity. So they named everything. When you get information that's proof of what you need to know, you need to know anything else? Proof is what they say is what they can prove. Faith is what they say that you got to just take and believe. I don't deal in that area. That ain't the area that I deal in. Belief is superstitious. You know what they say about superstition? When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you the one's going to suffer. Why? Because superstition and being ignorant ain't the way. That's why I'm digress. The Egyptian was a very smart race of people. Do we all know that? Nope, we don't. I'm moving on. I learned about my Egyptian history and all other histories as well, but everything seemed to come off of Egyptians. The Thai, the Hindu, all those guys, Greek, Romans, everybody came to Egypt. Okay, last one. If you know the Egyptians was the first to bring writing to the world, sciences to the world, astrology to the world, mathematics to all these things that we're using right now was generated and brought on by the Egyptians. So when I tell you I'm Egyptian, I think like why? Because I took their concepts that helped them survive. That's what I'm giving you. Just the concepts. Trust me, they work.